I'm living in a very small village here, about 500 people, the whole village. So everyone knows everyone, yeah.
Papaya. Yo. Oh,
When I was little, my parents really busy, They barely at home, right? So we kind of live with my grandma. So we have 3 kids. I'm the oldest one, right? So I clearly remember my parents don't send me to daycare, so I go by myself. So I walk morning to the daycare. I don't know how far, but at my time, the little girl, I think it's far. I have to walk. I would say right now, probably from here 2 blocks to my daycare. So morning I just walk there. I know how to walk there. Then I just remember when I walk back. So it's afternoon. I walk back every day. When I walk back, like past a lot of houses. Now the house is apartment. A lot of older kids, they play outside the apartment, right? So all those kids know me. They know my name. Every day I walk back there. Hi, Wally, coming back. I always very happy see all the people. So that's I remember very clear. So my grandma always wait there. She couldn't. We live in the 4th floor, apartment. She couldn't walk down, so she always outside my apartment. She always looking at outside, watch me, kind of walking back home. That's what I remember. Yeah.
Specific memory. And my memory that kids, as a kid, is always happy. Yeah, happy play with the kids, because at that time you have no comparison. Everybody you have same thing. Yeah, no rich, no poor. Everything is the same. Yeah. During the New Year's, you probably get some new stuff, like a new shoe or new clothes. That's a few hippie, yeah. Then during the New Year, you play around with all the kids, yeah. You are running around in the street, yeah.
Cultural Revolution started. You know that, right? So, people don't go to class, study, right? So, anyway, we was 1st grade, very little. So I was the shortest one in the class. I'm always very short. So each class, they have to wait in the line, outside the school before the school door opens. So people in the line, right? So I'm the shortest one. So I'm the one in charge to hold the mall's picture. Because every line, the first one has to hold like that every day, So I did this, I don't know how many years. So morning, actually I take home. Morning I hold this. It's that, to me it's really big picture. Maybe I was really small. So it's a middle one, that big. Every morning I have to hold this picture to school. Then I will be in the first one in the line. I'm so proud of myself. Then we will be going to the classroom. Then I will be hold this back home. Every day I did this. I don't know how many years. I think it was in the 3rd grade, this picture broke down, in the middle, has some, break line. And my grandma and myself, it's really scary because he broke this picture, So we try to fix it, tape on everything. I think, yeah, then I will still hold it for, I don't know how many years, probably 3 or 4 years. I have to do that, every day. So that's something in my memory. Yeah.
是，写了我的，
Yeah.
我要 keep 一下我的。
I think we just married, right? So when we married, we just very soon, we just had a Jenny, right? So he really don't like the job. You know, yeah, he wants to do something big, right? But he couldn't get it, you know? So then that time we already married and I already having baby, you know, right? Then he was still student, right? Graduate student in the school, right? Then his professor actually called me because we're all in same school. I working in the hospital in the school, right? So called me like say, just tell him go, you know, whatever the job available right now, even you're not really so like it, satisfied, just go, you know, because you are having baby, you know. And then we had a conversation, right? And he accepted the position, you know, he went to the school to teaching kids, right? So everybody, young people that time, search for opportunities, you know.
Yeah.
He actually searched all kind. I'm kind of the person rely on husband, you know, that's me, right? So I'm just working, and when Jenny comes, you know, I'm just taking care of the kids. So basically all the hope is on him, you know. So he tried everything, right? People goes to Germany, you know, but no chance, no opportunity, I guess. And he even tried the hotel, the interview, you remember that?
Yeah.
Your colleague, right?
Mm.
In this
Yeah.
teacher school, right?
Yeah, that's
He actually
cool. Yeah,
study English and living. And he said, he just learned, you
Yeah.
have to study English, take the test for TOEFL. So we just learned that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
TOEFL, GRE, you know, together into the whatever schools, you know.
Canada, yeah.
And they will give you scholarship to go because we really, really poor. We have no money at all, no penny, you know, right? Really, really poor. But they said if you have good grades, everything, school will give you scholarship to go there. Oh, that's very,
Yeah, get the money.
yeah, right. Then the thing is, he don't know English. That's the thing. I would tell the story. He spent 8 years in Tongji University, from bachelor to graduate school, is learn the German. Did he, right?
Yeah.
So he actually pretty good in German, but he don't know English. So he wants to go to America. You know, you have to learn English.
Mm.
Then he came home. He bought a lot of like TOEFL study, self-study.
English. Yeah.
English, yes.
I did read English novel.
Yeah, he just started dictionary
Basic.
one by one. This is a story. Because I working in the school, all his teachers know me because I'm in the hospital,
College,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, they all know me. One of the English professor, the lady came to me. I was talking. She said, he's studying English, want to go to America. Then she came to me second day. She says, Marie, I tell you, you go home, tell him that's not going to work. Yeah, that's impossible. He said, because you get that level, it's really hard. He never learned English, you know. Then I came back, actually told him,
Oh.
who told you? He says, no, I can make it. He just didn't even think it's not possible. He says, whatever, I'm going to do it. Yeah, but he made it, you know. He got a good school. He got a scholarship from Cincinnati. So he came.
How are you, Kevin? Give me a 5.
Give me 5.
Give me 5. Oh,
I record you.
give me 5.
Oh.
Give me 5.
I think it was in '94, and I think I was 6 years old, and I think it was a flight from Shanghai to Los Angeles. I was with Abu and Akong, who came with me with large suitcases. My grandparents were concerned that we were going to get stopped and that they were going to open up all of our suitcases because people in front of us had gotten stopped. But their understanding is that because they were two old people with a little girl and very large suitcases, that the customs people took pity on them and didn't open up their suitcases. For the first time, nobody spoke Chinese anymore, and everybody was speaking English. And I remember trying to order our meal on the plane, and none of the three of us actually speaking English. And yeah, and I think they just gave us whatever meal they had at the time, and I think it was spaghetti, and I think I remember it came with a little rectangle of butter, which I believed was chocolate, and so I unwrapped it and lovingly ate it, and then realized that it was not chocolate and was very disappointed, and that was my first impression of America, and it made me very unhappy that in America the chocolate tastes like butter. When I landed in Cincinnati, I just remember waiting for somebody to come, and I think you know, at age 6, I had the idea that my parents were supposed to come to get me. And I just remember waiting and waiting, and then these two young people coming over and picking me up and being very happy to see me. And I remember thinking in my mind, well, we can't just go with anybody because I'm waiting for Mom and Dad. And it wasn't for, I think, several minutes into that encounter that I realized that it was Mom and Dad who had already come, and I had no recollection of them at that time. So I think my first day in school would have been in Cincinnati, and I can't remember what the county was anymore, but it would have been at Clifton Elementary School. I remember I had a backpack that was foam on the insides of the pockets. And I remember the teacher that morning and repeatedly throughout the day writing this word on the chalkboard. I recognized most of the letters in this word that she kept writing over and over on the board that I couldn't understand because she must have said it every time she read it, but I didn't understand what she was saying. And so it annoyed me very much that she kept writing this one word on this board that I didn't know. So I managed to memorize almost all of the letters, some by knowing what the letters actually were, and some of them just by the shape of the letters, like R, I remembered was a candy cane. And so I didn't have a pencil on me, but as soon as I got on the school bus, I carved the word from memory into the foam on the inside of my backpack. And I came home, the first thing I asked her was, the first thing I asked Mom was, what is this word? And she said, it's September. I remember in the afternoons, we would have a kind of circle time on the floor, and we would have to repeat certain phrases that the teacher would recite, and one of them was, I am an American. And I remember finding it funny repeating that I didn't think I was an American at the time, but it was funny that everybody had to sit there and say, I am an American. And that must not have been the very first day, because I understood what those words meant at the time.
Hi. Của Xiao Xiao này. Say hi. Hello. How are you? How are you doing?